What if I told you that in 2026, Paul Heyman is about to shock the entire WWE universe one more time? What if the wise man, the mastermind behind Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk already has his next puppet chosen and nobody is ready for it? Hit that like button and subscribe for more insider news, because the signs are everywhere. The whispers are getting louder, and when Paul Heyman aligns himself with someone, careers are made, empires are built, and champions are crowned. Today on WWE Insider Scoop, we're breaking down Paul Heyman's next puppet in 2026 and why Brock Lesnar, Oba Femi, and Seth Rollins are all connected to this dangerous new chapter. Stay till the end because the final reveal might completely change how you see WWE's future. Let's be real. Paul Heyman isn't just a manager, he's a career accelerator. He turned Brock Lesnar into the beast incarnate. He elevated Roman Reigns into the tribal chief. He legitimized CM Punk as the voice of the voiceless. Every time Heyman picks a side, WWE history changes. But here's the twist. Heyman doesn't follow stars, he creates monsters. And in 2026, WWE is once again entering a new era. Legends are stepping back, new faces are rising, and Paul Heyman, he's looking for his next weapon. You can't talk about Paul Heyman without mentioning Brock Lesnar. Brock isn't just a former client, he's Heyman's greatest masterpiece. Even if Brock Lesnar is nearing the end of his full-time WWE run in 2026, his shadow still looms over the company. And here's the key detail most fans miss. Paul Heyman doesn't abandon power, he transfers it. What if Brock Lesnar isn't coming back to dominate? What if he's coming back to pass the torch? Think about it. Every major Heyman storyline has involved succession. Roman replaced Brock. Now someone must replace both. And that's where things get very interesting. At first glance, Seth Rollins looks like the obvious choice. One of the greatest in-ring performers of all time, a master on the mic, a proven world champion, a man who thrives in chaos. Rollins and Heyman working together would be terrifying. Seth already understands mind games, manipulation, and psychological warfare. But here's the problem. Seth Rollins doesn't need Paul Heyman. Heyman attaches himself to men who require a voice, a presence, a shield. Seth Rollins already is the system. He's too unpredictable, too independent, too uncontrollable. Paul Heyman doesn't manage chaos, he controls it, which means Seth Rollins may be part of the story, but not the puppet. Instead, Seth could be the final boss obstacle. Now let's talk about the name that's sending shockwaves through WWE's future, Oba Femi. Power, athleticism, aura, dominance. Oba Femi isn't just strong, he feels inevitable. This is the kind of superstar Paul Heyman dreams about. Silent but terrifying, explosive offense, legitimate presence, a man who doesn't need to talk because Heyman can do it for him. Sound familiar? That's not coincidence. Oba Femi represents the next evolution of dominance, a blend of Brock Lesnar's brutality and Roman Reigns' intimidation wrapped into a new generation monster. And here's the scariest part. Oba Femi hasn't even reached his final form yet. Why Paul Heyman needs Oba Femi? Paul Heyman is a strategist. He thinks years ahead. In 2026, Brock Lesnar is a legend. Roman Reigns is a god-tier figure. WWE needs its next unstoppable force. Paul Heyman doesn't want another talker. He doesn't want another entertainer. He wants a destroyer. Oba Femi doesn't smile. He doesn't beg for reactions. He doesn't need flashy entrances. He walks in, he dominates, he leaves bodies behind. Now imagine Paul Heyman standing next to him, whispering promises of championships, legacy, and destruction. That's not a manager-client relationship. That's a weapon being unleashed. Here's where Seth Rollins comes back into the picture. If Oba Femi is truly Paul Heyman's next puppet, then Seth Rollins becomes the perfect measuring stick. The visionary versus the destroyer, the mind versus the muscle, the present versus the future. And if Oba Femi defeats Seth Rollins on a major stage in 2026, that's the signal. That's Paul Heyman saying, "This is the one." Now, imagine this scenario. Brock Lesnar returns one last time, not to dominate, not to chase titles, but to stand face to face with Oba Femi. No words, no brawl, just Brock nodding and walking away. That's not weakness, that's recognition. That's the beast acknowledging his successor. And Paul Heyman, he's smiling. So who is Paul Heyman's next puppet in 2026? It's not Seth Rollins, he's too powerful on his own. It's not Brock Lesnar, his legacy is already cemented. It's Oba Femi, the future monster, the next Heyman guy, the next unstoppable force WWE will be built around. And once Paul Heyman puts his stamp on you, there's no turning back. If this happens, WWE in 2026 will never be the same again. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Oba Femi is ready for the Paul Heyman treatment, or do you believe Seth Rollins will outplay them all? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to WWE Insider Scoop for more exclusive breakdowns, predictions, and insider-style storytelling. Because when it comes to WWE's future, we don't guess, we expose it.